Zukov. 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 Come on. Goofy dog. Let's get one more turd out. Go figure. Those scrub jays are out and about. Oh, that's a stellar jay. Oh my goodness. Hey, Zukov, get back here. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Oh, hi. And Scrub's over here now. Buddy? Can you see him? What's up? We have a big ploof little thing. Oh, there you are. I see it on screen now. Oh, goof. Come on, Zooks. Get back here. Come on. Well, then surface voltage. Let's get along. Turn step dish analysis, so we're gonna go slightly higher rate. Ah, damn. Step dish being, well, a douche. Just gonna grab my heater, but you know, fuck it. It's like $90 more a month. Oh, $90. Well, that really ain't bad at all. I mean, yeah, a $90 difference, you know, for having to pay off a loan or some shit, that really isn't bad. I mean, yeah, it's a little more, and it sucks, but, you know, honestly, all things considered, I was expecting a lot worse than that. Well, come on, Zeus. Where's my duster? That way. Oh, you're still a little bouncy and pranciness. Oh my goodness. Yes, you is. Oh my goodness, the pranciness of you silly boy. It's fucking cold in here. That was cold as fucking Washington on the way back home. For goddamn like 30-something fucking degrees or some shit. That's cold as fucking here. God damn. There we go. Alright. There's Seattle trip down. It's double dip Royal Blood. Well, not yet. Their Royal Blood's gonna be in Vancouver today, and then they're gonna be back in Portland tomorrow. So, made sure I got myself a nice, lovely tour shirt. Oh, that's a jellyfish on it. That's just like, whoa, that's cool. Jellyfish. A lot of stars tonight in Mexico. Oh, I bet. I was seeing a lot of stars on my way back home from Seattle from last night, because it was actually a nice clear night. 2 times Alabama size, but has half the people, which means, you know, a lot less light, which means you get to see a lot more stars. And you get to see a lot of cool shit, dude. Places like that are really awesome for me because I love stargazing. I'm a guy that likes to stargaze a lot. So something like that is really fucking awesome to me. UFO amateur. Well, New Mexico would definitely be kind of for that. And you'd be near Clovis Air Force Base. Not that like anything interesting would come from that. But I'm sure it can at least kind of get you, you know, internally thinking, ooh, something. Also found out fucking Wheeler Walker Jr.'s like tour, because of his like new songs he's released. I was gonna see, it's like I knew he was on tour this year, and I was like, oh, did he go for Portland yet? He was here November 5th, so I'm sad. I missed Wheeler Walker Jr. by a few days. Well, maybe not by a few days, more like 10 days, but all the cool UFO stories start with, we were out in New Mexico, Arizona desert, which honestly kind of shows you how much of a grift those people kind of probably are. I mean, like, there's more than just those places for UFO hotspots. Like, I mean, also, I mean, I think a lot of people just have stories, you know, for around over there just because of the meme around it, basically. It's like, oh, there was, like, you know, Roswell and all this other stuff. I want my story from over there. And they probably see, you know, like, a satellite or, you know, meteor or something like that or some shit. And they're like, oh my god. I've seen it. I've seen it. There we go. But for real, I just want to see stars with weird-ass lights at night and smoke weed while stargazing. Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, I've seen some weird shit at night before. Like, I remember one time, I was stargazing. I'm pretty sure I might have been streaming, actually. And I was just, like, looking up at night, and I saw what, you know, was, well, I assumed a satellite, which I think it probably was. But then it just had a big flash. And then it, like, had another, and then all of a sudden, it popped up again, because it was going this direction, and then all of a sudden it went like, it like kind of veered off course and like flashed again. It then disappeared as it like went its different direction. And honestly, like for me, like I think it might have been like a satellite collision. Like, you know, two satellites clash and it caused a big spark, and then, you know, one of them kind of like spun around and or some shit. I mean, I think that might have been what it was that I remember seeing. And that was like at least like a year or two ago. It was still really cool though, because I was sitting there like, what the fuck, staring at the same spot like for a few minutes, just wondering if something else will pop up around there, and nothing else did. You know how I told you pre-Satan no one need to wear a catheter after my colonoscopy? Well, I guess I woke up after the procedure without one. This guy. Hey! That's awesome. That's good shit right there. I tell you what. I tell you what. Well, that's a little loud. I'm gonna turn that down just a tad. I think one of the street sweepers, or street cleaners, just tore up on my road. I'm hearing the hum of one of those little, like, street things, you know, buzzing around. However, I wish I had 3 dicks. I mean, 2 would be fine. 3 would just be ridiculous. Because there are, like, you know, there is a rare genetic mutation, or I guess physical mutation, where you technically, you know, could get 2 dicks. Both functional, too. I mean, my doctor warned me that my piss would look really bloody, but I wasn't mentally prepared for that stream. They made my toilet and the wall. Oh, looks like a fucking horror movie. Oh, Jesus Christ. See, that's why sometimes I like to sit down, you know, when I take piss, because sometimes I'm just like, I don't trust what's going on. So I'm just like, okay, why? Oh yeah, and it fucking hurt. Oh, I can only imagine. I can only imagine that just being. I was gonna say something, but now I totally forgot because I just started reading all that. And now I'm just like, now I feel hurtful. Oh yeah, it's about 2 dicks. But you know what? How can I go back to that with this? I mean, like, goddamn. Oh my fucking house, fuck. I remember my poor blood on my... Equal... Jeez, like, what were you doing? Holding that in for, like, multiple days? Like, shit. First time, at least. Thankfully, I'm great about water because I'm so hurt less and less. It's mostly clear now, but it's not nearly as uncomfortable. When your body says not to for like 13 more matches. Yeah, no shit. See, when it, like, for me, like, unless I really gotta go, I'll just wrap the match up that I'm doing and then go to the bathroom and then go into the next match. Because, chances are by the time I come out of the bathroom, the next match will either just start or is about to start. Like, if you at least stay in the lobby, right? Like, so, I mean, that's what I do. Like, what the fuck? And if I really gotta go, I'll just wait until I die or just find a corner to hide in and then go to the bathroom. And when I come back, there's honestly a 50-50 chance where I'm either died or I'm still there somehow. Untouched, and no one found me. I was playing World of WoW raids. Then just, like, finish one raid and go to the bathroom and then keep doing your raids. Ugh. You can't walk away or you get kicked. Well, okay, so just do another one if you get kicked out. I mean, yeah, after being idle for a certain amount of time, yeah, you're going to get kicked. So you want to make sure you're quick about it, but still. I mean, it's like, come on now. Come on now. I had to hit the vape. I mean, they gave me some pain meds, but the stuff seemed sketchy to me. The initial one felt like an 8 no stone, so I don't want to imagine that sober. Ooh. And that Beyond Point is different for this. Is different for today's soft MMO player. Well, man, I don't disagree with that. I mean, raids are like little mini games in a massive multiplayer online match where you're playing with other players and shit. Like, a lot of that stuff tends to be a lot more, like, softer these days. The only game that I thought was actually kind of, like, somewhat fun and challenging was, like, Red Dead Online, when that was still really a big thing, fairly popular. But once that kind of died off because Rockstar basically did not give it any love or attention, then it kind of fell out. But, I mean, at least, you know, for when it was kind of at its peak, I mean, at least there was a challenge, because if you literally got shot, like, in the head, you were just instantly dead. It didn't really matter what the fuck it was. Like, I mean, it's one of those games where it's like you had to genuinely, like, kind of mind yourself. You can't just run around shooting everything, think you're gonna win. Like, I mean, there's actual, like, genuine kind of strategy to shit like that. Hey! You already went outside. Can you imagine how worse the catheter has to be for a woman to wear one? I imagine it probably is genuinely fucking miserable. I mean, it's just like, and it's, like, the women's don't get enough credit when it comes to their equipment down there, you know what I'm saying? Like, even TJ was actually mentioning it at one point. Like, making fun of somebody, saying, like, I think about Bill Maher, and he, like, derailed it to be like, you know what, nah, pussy's actually respectable, because that shit has to, like, bust out a baby, literally rips itself in half, and has to, like, seal itself, repair itself, and all this other crazy shit. Like, it's, pussy's tough. It's like, it's actually tough and strong and shit. But Bill Maher's a weak bitch. And I'm just thinking, it's like, yeah, that's true, actually. It's just like, pussy actually is unironically kind of like, some of the most, like, organic, tough, fucking titanium shit to exist. And the amount of, like, misery that women have to kind of go through just to have it, too. It's just like, Jesus. Like, fucking periods. Smaller, situation going on there with, like, with the urethra. So if you have to deal with things like catheters and shit, that's probably way worse. But anyway, made a joke about balls being sensitive, but pussy could take a pounding. It's true, though. I mean, honestly, it's kind of weirdly sad but true. Like, yeah, sure. What we got going on here is, pretty simple, pretty basic. You don't got to worry about much, but goddamn, the contrast of what we got to deal with does suck. Get hit there even slightly. Like, if I accidentally, like, tapped myself there, it would hurt. If you kick a, chick in the junk, I mean, you're not really good. I mean, they're probably going to hurt them a little bit, but it's not going to be like they're down and out for the count hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be like, ow, fuck, okay, you bitch. And then they'll just, like, get right back at you. If that happened to us as a dude, we're down and we're out. Unless that dude is, like, made out of, like, goddamn fucking, like, PCP or something. Basically, I'm gonna do to him what I'm not trying to smash. Dude, I watch shitty stoner movies pretty frequently, too. They can be pretty funny sometimes. Sometimes. Some of them are pretty ridiculous. My brother went out to have me, the bastard. Yeah, because, like, he knew. He probably happened to him once, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna do this to my other brother, because fuck him. Gonna annoy the shit out of him a little bit. What are some good stoner movies? The only ones to think of are Half Baked and Made Pineapple Express. I would say, like, The Interview can be a pretty fun stoner little movie. I mean, it's not technically a stoner movie, but, I mean, it's made by Seth Rogen, who's, like, obviously a stoner, so, I mean, I don't know, I think, maybe not overtly Grandma's Boy. Yeah, that's kind of another good one. There is one that I can't really remember the name off the top of my head. Harold and Kumar. Oh, dude, yeah, Harold and Kumar. Oh, man, I almost forgot about that about that movie. Or I guess movie series. There's multiples of them, right? I remember once that they were, like, trying to, like, go to a White Castle or some shit. It had to, like, go for, like, hell and back. Anything with Cheech and Chong. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, honestly, like, You know, there are like some pretty, cult classic stoner movies, but beyond that, like, they're really obscure. Do Rest of My Car is funny if you're in the mood. Yeah, that's another one that'd be pretty good too. Dude, what the fuck is... Why do you keep batting this incessantly? Goof? He's really just... He's doing that, and I don't even know why. What do you want? Do you just want love and attention? Is that what you want? I'll take you out and about for a day. Don't have much going on, but I think I know what I'll do for a day. Because the Portland Association of Teachers, because they're still on strike right now, I'm thinking about checking out the bigger one that's going on near Division, which is actually not that far away from me. So, I'm thinking about, maybe go checking that out and seeing what's up with all that and bringing little Zukov over. Because I literally got nothing better to do today. So, I think I'll do that, and either before that, see my mama, or after that, see my mama. Don't know what I'm going to do with that one yet. Probably after, because I kind of want my... Because after all the walking stuff I'm going to do, I kind of want my dad to maybe drive me over there. There's this one punk movie one of my exes maybe watched, I can't remember the name of. I'm trying to think if I might know it. If you could, like, describe a little bit of it or something like that. Late 90s movie had a guy who went on to play Shaggy live action Scooby-Doo. Oh, that guy? Oh, well, that actually makes it easier for me to find then. Hold on. Here, I'll just look up the Scooby-Doo live action movie that I'm assuming Chris Gunn made. Or James Gunn. I'm assuming it's that one. Well, wait, is there any other Scooby? Yeah, no, there isn't. So yeah, that would have to be it. Yeah, it's a 2002 movie. Oh my god, it's that old? Jesus. So where the cast? Yeah, here we go. So the cast would have Matthew Lillard. Okay, so what movies you been in, buddy? So it's a 90s movie, and it was a punk movie with Matthew Lillard. So load it up. There we go. Well, Matthew Lillard was in Five Nights at Freddy's. The new movie? Okay. Oh, it's would it be CLC Punk? It literally has punk in the name, which I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen this movie, but I have heard of it before. Wait a minute, there's a second one? What the fuck? There's a second one? I never knew this. No way. What? I only thought there was one. There's two of these bitches? There's two of these bitches. Are you actually fucking kidding me? There's two of these bitches, bro. What the fuck? I only thought there was one. Yeah, I never knew they made a second one. I only thought they made one. There's two of these fucks? Oh, fuck me, dude. All the time when I was little, I never knew that that one was a thing. I honestly didn't know. It's awful. Dude, the first one at least is kind of, at least a little funny if you're stoned and maybe crossfaded or something. Like, if you're stoned as fuck, the first movie can at least maybe be a little amusing. Though, the thing is, like, honestly, I am probably just thinking it nostalgically, because it's the first movie I watched a lot as a kid. The second one, not so much. You know what? I'm pretty sure the first movie is probably what, like Paul's ego, got me to be a little low-key into Velma. Because, dude, actress for Velma, like, she was actually pretty good for the role. There's an extended cut that never even made it in, where she's, like, doing this, like, kind of, like, sultry dance thing and, like, singing and shit. I'm just like, why didn't they put this in the fucking movie? Because it's, like, one of the few times where it's, like, this is actually kind of a good scene. Like, I mean, they have, like, the scene there, but there's, like, an extended version where she's, like, doing it for longer. And it's, like, it's honestly better. It's, like, why? It's, like, an extra, like, I don't know, maybe, like, 2 or 3 minutes. It's like they really just didn't add that in there. It's like, come on. It would have made it at least a little bit more entertaining. And And also the CGI is beyond fucking awful. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna defend that. I will never defend the CGI of that movie, or especially the second one, because I don't know what the fuck is about that one, but I refuse. Dude dies of a HOD at the end, and his buddy spends the last few minutes trying to revive him. Oof. Yeah, I've heard of the movie before, but yeah, it's been a minute since I've either watched it or if, like, have had to talk to me about it or whatever. Like, it's been a long time since I've even heard of that movie. The only thing, the voice actor for Shaggy's voice age really shows. Yeah, that's another thing, too. I mean, I'm trying to think what would have made that movie a little better. Honestly, using a real dog instead of a CGI dog probably, I think, would have been better. They could have had the CGI part be, like, a little bit later in the movie when, like, Scooby has his soul taken and all that shit. But, so then, it's, because that, can at least imply the more cartoonish nature of things. But just have, like, a regular dog or something. I mean, I don't see how that, would be so difficult, but I guess it was. I mean, I'm just, like, because, I mean, what, they can't find a dog that looks at least somewhat like fucking Scooby? And even if not, like, they can use, like, some, like, black dye or something like that to kind of put the spots on them or something. I mean, it's like, I kind of feel like they could have, like, went a little extra out of the way to do that. At least it would have made it slightly more appealing. So then the CGI is only really focused on those weird, like, monsters and the souls and all that other weird shit. So at least then it wouldn't be, like, so, like, right in your face all the fucking time. It'll at least kind of give you some breathing room. Because the CGI in that movie, like, fucking god-awful. And, just for contrast, like, there were CGI fucking, like, Jurassic Park and other movies, in the 90s. That still holds up to this fucking day. And it's just like, I mean, it's like, what the fuck? How, it's like, I mean, it's like, ugh. Like a live action movie of talking animals where their mouths move like human mouths is unnatural. Oh, dude, yeah, it's really uncanny, but, with what I'm talking about with, like, Scooby, being, like, a real dog and using practical effects in that way and just having, like, voiceovers, I mean, honestly, like, you kind of have to do that a little bit. Isn't there, like, some movie that just either came out recently or something like that that had this exact same thing going on? Because, like, it really is a little, like, unnatural in a sense, but it at least kind of gives a little bit more implied, like, sense of, they're actually kind of speaking. I'm gonna be shocked if they remade Dances with Wolves. They better not do that. And also, like, I mean, I suppose, I could kind of see potentially a remake of something like that, but honestly, like, the original just holds to time, honestly, and it's, like, so good on its own. Like, there's no fucking reason for it, and I swear to goddamn shit, if I, like, see that, I'm gonna be very upset. Because it's just such an obvious cash grab thing, and they're gonna make it so fucking bad. Like, a Dances with Wolves, like, 2024 edition or some shit like that would genuinely be awful. And they're gonna, like, make it into, like, some weird thing that wasn't even, like, what it was initially or some shit. And they're gonna make it suck. Ever see Coyote Ugly? I've heard of it. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it before. I don't know anything about it, by the way. I've heard the name once or twice before in the past. I might have seen, like, one of those, like, movie posters of it once or some shit, but don't know anything of it. A stripper movie your mom made you watch? Oof. Sequel. Breakdances with Wolves, but the exact same movie, but they're wearing afros. Okay, if they remade Dances with Wolves like that, I honestly might watch it. What are, like, some movies that actually have, like, overt social/political commentary, but don't rub it in your face? I mean, honestly, there are actually a pretty decent amount of movies that are like that, but I'm just kind of curious if, like, If anyone else can, like, overly think of one. Because I can actually think of a few. Joker. Yeah, I get, yeah, that's definitely a good one. I mean, because it's not really in your face just because it's so subtle. Like, I mean, because honestly, if you really want to hear, like, some of the politics of things, listen to the radio in the movie. Like, you'll notice that the radio in some scenes are in the background, and if you distinctly listen to that, like, especially, you know, then you'll actually kind of hear, like, some different things about, like, the socioeconomic conditions, the status of, you know, the town and shit like that, about treatment of mentally ill. I don't think it's necessarily just about, you know, treatment and awareness about mentally illness, like mental health and mental illness and things like that. But I also think there's, like, a lot of elements about, like, commentary about, like, things like empathy as well, and also about what would be another thing about, like, about, like, politics of, like, greed and callousness, and, you know, like, you know, in egotism that, you know, is pretty, you know, rot in society as well. There, honestly, like, the Joker kind of has, like, a little bit of, like, other commentary going on with that movie on top of just, like, you know, mental health awareness and shit. Watchmen. I haven't seen it, so I actually wouldn't know. I'll have to take your word for it. I know a good one is called Pride, because it's actually a duo commentary movie. Actually, I can find it on YouTube, because I know there's a few scenes on YouTube, and the movie is available on YouTube. I mean, you would have to buy it, or you could watch it with a premium membership. But it's basically it's a 2014 movie, but it's basically about the queer movement in the UK and the workers' rights movement in the UK, both kind of coming in solidarity together to, you know, kind of join their movements during Thatcher's era, you know, during the 80s. So a lot of the mine workers who were on strike at the time joined hands and, like, joined together with a lot of different queer activists at the time as well, because they kind of saw a common goal in mind. At least when it comes to the basic treatment and the rights and stuff like that. And also there was a slight overlap too, and, you know, a lot of the leaders of the queer rights movement and in the UK at the time were kind of realizing, you know, a lot of these miners have a lot of support, a lot of help, and, you know, and at least to a certain extent, but, you know, they're struggling still. We're struggling a lot, and we don't really have that much help. Why don't we go talk to some of these guys? And they did. You know, a lot of the, and it's based off a true story, too, so a lot of the, like, labor leaders and queer rights activists at the time, like, you know, they were real people, and they actually did have these meetings, talk with each other, you know, we'll get together at the union halls, or, like, you know, underground gay bars and shit like that, which you would think, you know, a bunch of rough and tough miners, you know, going in a gay bar would be pretty, odd, but it happened during the time. And it helped to at least, you know, push for, you know, fighting for different workers' rights and for queer rights at the time as well. You know, unfortunately, then it, you know, couldn't really go so far because, you know, Thatcher being a cunt. But, you know, whatever. I mean, really, that's not inherently the point if they, like, got, like, their victory immediately, which, you know, they did have successes. But, like, it's more or less just, you know, the point of the movement, you know, continuing, you know, the fire that, you know, was in UK about that type of shit. That must have been awkward at first. We're gonna look at the date there, big boy. We just want to talk, okay? Well, I think this scene might be on YouTube, like the initial, like, scene of them meeting together. Here, meeting. Here. It's literally giving me news instead. God fucking damn it. Instead of, like, the scene. Here. Maybe it's also giving me another movie that's called Pride from, like, 2007, and it's like, that's not what I want. Let's see, is this... Yeah, that ain't it. It's, see, yeah, I'm getting, like... Oh, here we go. I think this is it? I think... Pride 2014 miners came to London. I think this might be it. You know, the ultimate movie, Zack and Miri make a porno. Why do I feel like that's kind of a really, like, just an actual porn? Oh, about here. Here we go. This isn't the exact scene I'm talking about, but it kind of shows a little bit of what I'm talking about, though. So the miners show up in their truck.
They're my lesbians.
I was not ready for that! The old lady's like, alright, so where's my lesbians? What? Okay, I was not ready for that. I was not ready for an old lady being a G just saying that, dude. Okay, I honestly didn't. I was not ready for that.
Lesbians? My lesbians.
Who's my lesbians?
My lesbians?
Oh, that's my lesbians. Okay, that is wholesome and awesome. I love that.
These are all cucumber, no butter, stock SB, everyone. Minus C, we'll have a bloody good march. Right, where do you want us?
So just for context, the old ladies are like, you know, the wives of the miners and stuff. And you know, so basically, you know, they, you know, show up, you know, they obviously kind of join with this whole big rally, which is mostly a queer rally, but also like in tandem with a miners rally. Or at least generally a broader workers rally, hence all the red banners as well. But obviously, you know, there's a few queer flags and stuff like that. Like one of the lesbians had like an older queer liberation flag there as well. So there was like, so, you know, as you can tell, this, you know, there's a lot of overlap that happened during the time, which was really big, you know, for the UK at this point. Like, I mean, there wasn't really too much of this going on, but there were, you know, at least especially in the United States during like the 70s and 80s, there wasn't really as much cross-solidarity, but in the UK, that was a little bit different.
Any of you? What? You'll have to go to the front. You'll have to leave.
No, hey, we're not losing our banners, mate.
What do you mean, what's he mean to me?
I think he means them.
Those are more of the miners, by the way. They brought the convoy. They're just like, oh shit. So if you notice that banner they had was minor support gays and lesbians. So this is like, you know, again, you know, like one of those times where these days you kind of see a lot of this now, but back in the 80s, this was genuinely like kind of a new thing that, you know, was kind of big. And kind of interesting how the UK was like one more, the prominent place, you know, for this type of shit to happen.
Morgan! Abercrave Lodge! Aberdeen Lodge! Broadway Surface Lodge! Fernhill Lodge! Bardi Lodge! Blankrock Lodge! Camden Lodge! Burneside Plant! Monkinash Lodge! Dulles Valley Lodge, Ongoing! Oxford West Lodge! South Wales NUM...
I just noticed there's a skinhead punk in the background. Right there. Which also kind of shows that, you know, back in the early days in the 80s when punk was a really big thing, the term skinhead wasn't, you know, equal to a Nazi, because punks were the initial original skinheads, and they would literally shave their heads. I mean, obviously, hence their name. Or most of it. Sometimes they'll have, like, you know, some other kind of pixie stuff going on, or some other shit, you know, like with their hair and stuff. But for the most part, they would just, like, go full shave.
Gays and lesbians have been absolutely magnificent. There's no other word for it.
Oh shit, they get a march band going on too.
Gays and lesbians descending on you like that.
Why on earth would we have found that weird?
So the union leader, you know, being interviewed, was like, why would we be offended by this? Like, we're obviously here to support them. Like, you know, because the news report's kind of trying to, like, egg on. It's like, why are you hanging out with a bunch of flags? It's like they're basically, the news report's kind of trying to, like, infer, like, you know, a little tension, you know, between the two. But obviously it ain't working. Which, by the way, the strike specifically, at least if these miners were from South Wales, like the miners that were going on strike during this time were from Wales specifically, for the most part, because a lot of the mining industry in the UK, at least at the time, and probably still today, came from Wales, places like South Wales and shit.
Hey! Not worried about being too visible this
Shut up and march.
And it's Billy Bragg, too. On June 29, 1985, London's Gay Pride March was led by Welsh miners in a show of solidarity for the LGSM support during the strike. It's a really cool movie. Like, this is more near the end of the movie, but it's a really good one. Song you sent me was a banger. What, fuck this job? Dude, Wheel Walker's like pretty much the only dude who's basically keeping the country alive. Like, honestly. Like, because he's the one that's pretty much like kind of still keeping it true to the old, like, fuck your boss over because he's a piece of shit, and fuck his wife, you know, shoot a cop, run away from the sheriff, fucking, you know, drinking a bunch of beers, blowing hookers, and all this other shit. Like, I mean, you know, like, I mean, Wheel Walker's literally breaking his fucking back, keeping country alive. And his new album, Ram, is honestly, like, no exception to that. You know, Vosh always says, if you're gonna fight like your third monkey on the lone dog of Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain. You know, honestly, like, I like how that meme is kind of transcended a little bit, because, like, I will see that meme a lot. Like, in the exact same format, too, in that, like, heavy red, like, filter, and just that exact meme just in different places. Even for, you know, with people that don't know who he is. Like, because honestly, like, there's something about it, dude. It's kind of a banger meme. Oh, the beautiful U.S. Hills bring tear to my wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Instead of all the beautiful U.S. hills bring tear to my eye, my pickup truck and the fly wave in the wind fills me with pride, or some shit. Yeah, and then meanwhile, Wheel Walker's talking about butt fucking, tits, fucking, you know, fucking your job off, and all this other shit. I just, speaking of which, you want to see, like, another fun music video of his? Here. It's kind of, I'm trying to decide, because I've seen, like, his music videos for his new album, and all of them are fucking kind of awesome. You know, I'm doing this one. We're gonna do Dump Truck, because this one is a banger. I mean, they're all kind of bangers, honestly.
Welcome back to the ball. I am Ricky Rackman, and now we have got the latest from Wheel.
Alright, just get to it. Get to what we're here for, yeah. There we go. We'll do about, there we go. So now we have the full view. I already hate it. It's about booty, fuck you. And honestly, this has like a very like ZZ Top vibe. This is more like kind of, this is more like ZZ Top style, like country rock. I mean, listen to like a ZZ Top song and then listen to this back to back. I mean, it has a very ZZ style. Dump truck. I didn't care for ZZ Top. What? Didn't care for ZZ Top? Come on. ZZ Top's good. Hey. Me. Alright, here, we'll look at this really quick. Well, we didn't expect to reach 18, but 30 is around the corner. This is getting weird. You had one good song and everyone went nuts. What, CC Top? Dude, they had multiple songs, dude, that are fucking bangers. Sharp Dressed Man, LaGrande, fucking, like, I mean, dude, come on. Give me Venom. Hey, I'm turning 20. Hey, I just turned 26 not long ago. Don't remind me about that shit. Sharp Dressed Man was his one banger. No, it wasn't. Maybe to you. Hey, what's up there, buddy? What's the ghost? No one tells out for the wreck the most. Boston had more bangers than they put out. They only put out Alchemy in a decade. Well, Boston has bangers too. You can like both. I like Boston and ZZ. What do you want? Why keep boofing? I just like how it's just basically an excuse to just have a bunch of booty on YouTube. That's why I like Leo Walker. He's just like, alright, I'm singing about booty, titties, dick, and all sorts of other shit. Because if him being bisexual, he will have a few songs, you know, specifically about, like, sucking dick and butt fucking and shit like that, too. Even his song Eating Pussy and Kicking Ass, like, at the last main verse is where he, like, pretty much hires a prostitute, you know, a sex worker, and finds out that they're cross-dressing. And he's like, well, I'm gonna suck that dick anyway, then kick his ass. So it's like, you know, it's one of, you know, so it's like, hey, equal opportunity offender here. I eat pussy, I'll suck some dick and kick some ass. Probably like the Dixie Chicks. I've heard of Dixie Chicks. I mean, aren't they kind of like more like cowpunk in a way? I mean, they are now kind of called the Chicks because of the whole, like, Dixie part of the name and shit like that, because people got butthurt over it. But, I don't know. I mean, I don't really care either way. It seems fine. You know, it's not like they're literally having some homage to Dixieland or some shit. I mean, if anything, I mean, I'd argue a lot of their music probably doesn't, you know, do that at all. Back in the days of George Bush, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, back in the W days, like, you know, they were basically canceled before canceling was a thing. Like, you know, and for being against the Iraq War, yeah, that's what, yeah, they were basically canceled for being against the Iraq War. One of the few voices, you know, about that shit, you know, called a bunch of traitors, blah, 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 and all this bullshit. I mean, honestly, kind of what you see now with, like, the Israel-Palestine thing, only, like, tenfold. I mean, the whole mentality with, like, back, you know, post 9/11 and shit, like, you know, just after that, you know, and the, you know, analogy of today of how people feel with shit is honestly kind of eerily freaky. A little bit, I'm not even gonna lie. It's like, what the fuck? Well, fuck me, dude. This is delicious. What's this other one? This is to die for? Oh, it's just more food to make me hungry. Looks so crumbly, but you know what? Is that a pear pie? Are those pears? Oh, fuck yeah, dude. But you have major bottom energy. The fuck is that supposed to mean? I don't got, like, some major bottom energy little bitch. What are you talking about? I mean, I'm a switch, but I don't got, like, some major bottom energy shit going on. The fuck you what? I mean, okay, wow. I see how you view me. Me being, you know, like, you know, raunchy aggressive and shit like that about bullshit. And yeah, oh yeah, total bottom energy right here, dude. After I was born, I didn't talk to my parents for 2 years. The talent show judges. Oh my god. Zeus's metaphorical dick? What, like Zeus? The god Zeus? Anyone have to transform into a swan? I'm assuming you just mean, like, you know, basically, I don't know, like, what do you mean? Like, just him? Just as he is? Sure. Oh, you know, I see Wasukov once. I left his food and water bowl in the house, because when I was gone all day, I wanted to make sure that you have food and water. Let's see what you're doing. You're pawing out where your food normally would be. There you go. Why is there just a pair of pants right here? Okay, what the fuck, Dad? Whatever. Whoop. Hold on. There we go. Kratos, I feel like he would be an absent okay barbarian daddy. I mean, I guess, sure. I mean, if we're just talking about, like, them in their regular old form of just who they are, then sure. I mean, like, they're fucking gods, for fuck's sake, dude. Like, they're not gonna be, like, you know, just your average-looking person. Like, they're gods. Like, they're gonna be, like, the most, like, perfect, like, looking being things, you know, for what they are and all this shit. Like, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like, if you're asking me, it's like, yeah, would you fuck it? And I'm just like, well, it's like, does a bear shit in the woods? Anyone without that same level of tragedy? Parents, fine. Economic situation, stable. Any kind of tragedy in life? Well, my dog did run away when I was 6. Sad music plays, but he came back a few months later. God damn it. Thor looks fat and drunk in God of War. Well, they made him a little bit extra. Like, Thor isn't, like, you know, some chisel abs, like, Giga Chad or something. He does have a beer belly. Like, he is kind of like, he's more of like a bear daddy type of dude, basically. You know, or maybe like, you know, I guess at best, maybe like an otter or some shit. Because, like, and yes, he is definitely, you know, like a drinker. Like, Thor is certainly a drinker. But, hey, that's fine. Him and I will just go to the pub and grab a bunch of pints, and he will definitely outdrink me, but whatever. Or soppy for a stoppy, I guess. I mean, whatever. But then you got Loki, who's just like kind of a weird, eccentric femboy looking dude. Who's just a hypersexual slut, basically. He literally transgenders himself into a horse, too. So it's like a transgender speciation or whatever the fuck, and gets fucked by a horse, and then births like Sleipnir and Hel and Venir and all these other fucks, and it's like, Loki, okay, like, I mean, you do you, boo. I mean, it's like, you know, he's quite an eccentric character. He's the very eccentric, hypersexual, slut femboy guy. Of Norse mythology, at least. I mean, is there an equivalent of him, basically, in any other mythology? Because, honestly, like, I think Norse mythology is kind of unique with him. I'm sure there are, like, hyper-slut gods and goddesses, but, I mean, as eccentric as Loki, though. Transform into anime femboy. I mean, he kind of already is. Just without the anime part. I mean, you know, he's not exactly like some big buff dude or some average guy. I mean, he's more of a, you know, like slender, lanky, well, not full lanky, but kind of a slender dude. You know, it's like he's not like some big burly guy. That's for sure. He's not described as that at all. I mean, he could shapeshift into that if he wanted to. I mean, he's a shapeshifter, so, I mean, he can morph into whatever the fuck he wants. Like a female horse. So, which is very specific, but it's in Norse mythology. Like, it's an actual story in the Prose Edda. I'm not even kidding. That's actually in the mythology of it. That's how some of the other, that's how at least Hel was born. Yeah, who rules over Helheim. So, I mean, it has to be there in order to explain some shit. I like my femboys like I like the woman. I'm wait, slender and feminine. You know, I was actually perusing Reddit last night on my way back from Seattle, just kind of chilling. I was looking through r/ask Reddit, and funny enough, there was this funny Reddit post. Well, not really funny, but it was actually kind of wholesome and kind of cute in a way, where it's like, "Hey wives, what is one thing that you want your husbands to do, but you're kind of too shy to admit?" And pretty much either like, it was like pretty much like split into 3 different ways. The first one's like, I want them to be fucking rough with me and just like, you know, just use me like a toy or some shit. Like, unironically, some of them are saying that. Some of them are like, I just want him to like make noises during sex. He's like silent, just sits there quietly or some shit. Which is like, oof. Like, you don't at least make some noise or some shit? It's like, come on. I mean, at least have a little communicational noise or something like that. And the other one was just simply more cuddling. It's like, I just want him to cuddle with me more. You know, stuff like that. And I was just like, aw. It was actually kind of, you know, strangely wholesomely cute. Where it's like, you know, because I guess, like, you know, for, you know, some chicks, like, because obviously if it's with their hubby and stuff, it's like, well, they don't really care, you know, about, like, you know, the, you know, like, the aggressiveness of the sex sometimes, because, like, hey, I trust my partner and stuff, you know, we're having a good time, blah, 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 but it's like, you know, they don't really get all the way what they want. It's like, yeah, I just want them to use me. It's like, okay. Well, it seems like, you know, there might be a slight little communicational thing that needs to be established there for such things to, you know, expand on. And also, all these, you know, had, like, thousands of likes on them, too. Like, I mean, and because when I was reading a lot of these, you know, answers that people were, you know, posting, I was like, you know, they all had, like, you know, basically, like, 3 different, like, you know, overlaps of, you know, like, kind of a root, you know, and like I said, it was, like, basically those 3. There was, like, a few other oddball ones, like, yeah, I have a weird kink, and I'm not too sure if he'd be into it, or something like that. There would be, like, a little oddball answer like that, you know, or some shit, but for the most part, it was basically rooted down to those 3, essentially. I can't stand hearing guys in porn. Always grunting noises, dismissive, monkey screeching. Yeah, see, like, I mean, that's a, yeah, I'm not 100% about that. Like, for me, it's more like, you know, just kind of like the, you know, just maybe just like kind of the light little thing or whatever, and just like, you know, some, you know, dirty talk here and there. You know, like, that's kind of what I'm talking about. You know, have like a little, like, love communication. You know, not like this, like, you know, whatever the fuck, or like, or, you know, the climax yell, where you just sound like a fucking grunted ape. It's like, I mean, that's just like, yeah, it's a little off-putting for me. Like, talk dirty. Well, you don't have to give an example. I mean, like, we know what it means. You don't have to give an example. I'm not reading that out loud. We know what it means. My goodness. Jukov. Holy shit, you ate all that. There ain't no food left. Damn. Hungry little boy. Okay, so, alright, well, goddamn it, Venom. God fucking damn it. So I can't have nice things. Hey, wow, look. A notification of a Voo stream. And at least he ain't scamming us. Thanks, Fosh, for not scamming us this time. Unlike last time, you prick. Oh, I'm on vacation, my dude, my guy. I will postpone this. Fucking scammer. Curry was down like 5 seconds in. That's why you need a lot of lube. Not show up to DFF. He was supposed to show up last Friday, but he was on vacation, so he didn't show up. So, it's today. Out Vegas, though. I want TJ's opinion. Like, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, I can trust the TJ's assessment with this. I'm gonna send him a super chat asking him, it's like, yo, having a 7-hour layover in Vegas going to, you know, Christmas, you know, going to Texas, you know, for Christmas with the fam. So, what if I had to choose one casino to go to with a $500 budget, what would it be? That's what I want to ask him. I was trying to ask him on his Sunday show, but, you know, when he was, like, in between different bits, and I, you know, couldn't quite, you know, find an answer, you know, because he didn't, I don't think he saw my chat or whatever. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to be that guy, so I'm just going to wait. I asked it, like, twice, and I was like, alright, you know what, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to do the third time's the charm. I'll just, like, send a super chat for it. And then, you know, see what he says. Watch Vosh be like, my dude, why are you gonna be gambling, you fucking freak? Dude, I watch Vosh be like, yo, shit on me or something. But you know what, whatever. I don't want to give a fuck. I wonder if Vosh is gonna be on the entire show. Or if he's only gonna be on for, like, the news portion. I had Taiwan coffee today. That sounds interesting. What are you into? I'm sure it's not that weird. Well, yeah. I would find it really hard if my husband just, like, oh my god. Luckily, I don't think there was anything like that. At least not that I'm aware of. Toggle. Nice. That was actually a nice little burp. Tastes like mocha. You have to just be like, well, good luck with that, I guess. Man, you do realize there's a reason why I don't always read your shit? You know there's a reason for that, right? Like, bruh. Should Dutch oven him. How about you Dutch oven yourself? How about that, huh? What are you doing over there, dog? Little goober's doing something. I tell you what. This little shit. Here, let's go check out some interesting little things on the Reddit. Since not much. Oh shit, it actually popped up right off the bat. Wow, that's a first. Monotony County Homeless Service Fund is successfully moving people off the street. Report finds. Oh, I'm sure this is not going to cause, you know, some stupid weird shit in the comments on this one. So you died from last week, just a new article. This is when the sport house. Well, this means sport house effective limit homelessness. Where fails from public health angles simply such about on campus or only goes to our house. But it's not saying that we all. It needs more. It's saying that this works for those ones who gauge services in one part of a broader effort. Oh, okay. I mean, sure. Oh, look at those old tiny homes. You actually, every now and then will see these throughout Portland. And honestly, you know, it's really good that these are at least here, obviously. And the thing is, like, I mean, arguably, I would say that most people who are houseless right now would want this. And a lot of people that, you know, probably aren't at least immediately willing or self-willing or whatever, are probably just due to addiction and, you know, just a sense of, like, you know, a feeling given up and shit like that. Which, I mean, isn't like, you know, just like, well, look it. I mean, obviously there needs to be a lot more efforts into this. I mean, this is just only the start. But, you know, obviously, I mean, seeing that these are overwhelmingly successful, despite the fact it might not necessarily look like that, you know, on the surface of Portland or some shit, it just kind of shows that at the very least, like, you know, the weird, you know, talking points and bullshit about Portland is just, well, not exactly true. Obviously, there's still bad parts in bad areas of Portland, duh. Every city's gonna have this shit, unfortunately, at least in America. But, I mean, you know, it's not really as bad as people make it out to be, and I've always said this, because, well, there's little things like this that are still happening. They obviously need a lot more funding and should have a lot more support, but, I mean, hell, I mean, even with that not being necessarily the case, I mean, there's still a lot of, you know, positive, you know, outcomes out of that. Now, if only we had more of it. I flipped the Sonic's title for my Christmas cards this year. Hey, dude, that's nice. That's actually kind of clever. I kind of like that. What's this? It's interesting. All mad at food because Greta got him with his food. Oh, this again. Is Matt all mad at food because Greta got him with his pizza box? I don't think it was, like, intentional. I think that was more of a coincidence, but you know what? I choose to believe that she got him. Unintentionally got him, dude. I'm gonna believe it. Actually, let me, you know, see what other little things go on for the little local news around here. Let's see. Oh my god. There's a post of a kitty that got reunited with their owner, and the kitty is fucking adorable. Look at this kitty. Oh, looks like, you know, he's probably had a little rough time a little bit, but the little guy looks like he's okay. Oh, look at that little fluff. Oh, that's so cute. Just a cute kitty. That is just a cute little kitty. Little PDX kitty right there. Owner contacted me and sent me a bunch of pictures of him. And then my friend and health facilitator picked him up and rode away in a bike cat basket. Oh my god, a little bike basket. Oh, that's adorable. That's some strike news. Portland Teacher Strike District cost estimates suggest two sides still more than $200 million apart. The mention moving to staff meetings from weekly to monthly would save a large amount of time. If I'm following things correctly, time could be sort of translated into money, which means the church may cost it. Why does anyone care about those meetings? Can they just record a video, send an email or something? It's an no-brainer to get rid of 2/3 of the meetings for all teachers, K-12s. It costs the district nothing, and I imagine it'll even save money. Hopefully the new software includes this. Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely going to check out, you know, the PA2 strike and stuff like that, just to see, you know, and kind of talk with them and get a little bit more information from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Quick question, are you a fan of the Game Theory guy? Game Theory guy? I honestly don't, I think I know who that is. I'm just going to look him up real quick, hold on. Game theorists? Oh, they sound familiar. I think I might have, like, seen one or two of their videos or something like that before. Ooh, that felt good. Nice. That felt pretty good. What are little local news having here? Ooh, it's not local news, but it's cool scenery. Fall in Oregon is breathtaking. Hey, look at that shit. Ooh, look at that tree. Purdy tree. Oh my goodness, look at all the leaves. Look at all the purdiness. Nice. I like it. I dig it. I can dig it. Oldest food theory, especially about turkey, 20 minutes, but shorter butterfly in your turkey massively cuts cooking time. Butterfly in the turkey. Was that here?
Get to the part where we have to crack the ribs against the counter. First, we bought 2 identically sized 13-pound turkeys. Then, we prepared them the exact same way, including a 48-hour brine and butter under the skin.
I can't believe I have to do 2 of these this year. The only reason we started this channel was so we could have more turkey on Thanksgiving.
This is my master plan the entire time. And then, it was time for our 2 turkeys to take 2 very different paths. One was selected for spatchcocking and was named Spatchcock the Turkey. And the other was named Sherman because that was the only other good name that we could come up with at the time.
So we're in the final prep stages for both of these birds. We have the regular.
Imagine if, like, you're a child and you're born and your parents are thinking of a name for you and they're just like, I don't know, like Dave or some shit, and the reason is because they literally couldn't think of anything better. Like, I mean, that would just honestly be fucked a little bit. I would kind of be like, I would just sit there and be like, you fucking what? You know what? It is for me a little bit because my name is technically legally supposed to be flipped around. Like, my first and middle name are supposed to be flipped. The reason why they're not is because my mom was high on fucking morphine when the doctor came in and asked about, like, what my name needs to be. And I was just like, fuck. Like, god damn it, Mom. Well, also, fuck the doctor a little bit. It's like, I mean, it's like, you know she's, like, lit off her gonker, bro. It's like, I mean, come on. Like, you really think that that would be a good time to ask for a name?
The spatchcock one, these 2 methods are essentially trying to accomplish the same thing, which is an even cook, but this one involves a lot of temperature up and down, a lot of fancy stuff, and this could change Thanksgiving forever.
Yeah, the spatchcock layers everything out so the meat is all on the same playing field, so presumably it cooks 1, faster, and 2, more evenly, so you're not getting the breast done while the dark meat isn't, things like that.
Exactly. So I think we actually have to do this now. I think we have to like butcher this bird.
Are you saying that bird is spineless? It will be.
It's about to be.
Wow, dad joke. She wasn't even really impressed. She's like, oh wow, dad joke.
Also mention, both turkeys are getting cooked with the neck.
That I don't know if spatchcocking is getting us censored, but you holding up that
definitely
is definitely getting us demonetized.
This is the turkey neck.
And they didn't censor it here.
So secretly, this is my favorite part of the entire Thanksgiving bird.
Man,
Do 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 do. Sus.
I know.
Sus.
I know.
Man.
My like inner.
Well, did she just say her inner cock? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. This. Okay.
Bumpkin doesn't come out very often, apparently only at Thanksgiving.
So we went about cutting out the spine with kitchen shears. Okay, Stephanie went about cutting out the spine with kitchen shears. I cheered her on from the sidelines. I know Mark Bittman opted for the boning knife, but shears are another option that many spatchcockers suggest.
This is actually really difficult.
Is it?
No. Do you want to give this a shot?
Yeah, let's try.
Okay, here.
I mean, just use a knife or a bone cutter. Yeah.
Let me take off my gray GT Live merch.
Just get in the turkey already.
Let me take off this amazing Game Theory signature jacket. Merch.
Ew.
There's the backbone.
You know, our cuts weren't necessarily as clean as some of those online cooking channels, but for a first timer, I think we nailed it.
Right.
For hot sauce over gravy, my turkey, I will have gravy if it's really good. I usually kind of use the gravy as like a sauce more so than just like an actual like addition to a thing. So I'll have it like set on the side, and then like I'll like kind of like put it on top of different things. So I'll like usually also get the mashed potatoes and put like a little bowl in there, and then like kind of like, you know, cup it over. So then I can kind of stir it around and it mixes in with the mashed potatoes. So it's just like, I mean, you know, for me, I kind of, like, the only addition that I actually use it for would be, well, mashed potatoes, basically. I might put a little dibble-dabble on the stuffing a little bit, just kind of wetting it up a little bit, but at least if it's a little dry.
Nailed it. Oh, you touched my hand with your dirty turkey hands. I washed my hands while we were cut.
Oh, we're high-fiving.
For the next step, we had to let the knife, quote, glide through the collarbone.
We're gonna let the knife
glide.
Glide,
Steph.
It's gonna. It's kind of glided a little bit. It did a little gliding. And
perfect.
Okay.
That was great.
All right. So now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Open.
We let the knife glide. died. Look at that. All right, now we perform the CPR.
Are you going to get a cutting board? What? I just noticed that. Why are they not using? Okay, my inner fuck. And hey, buddy, did you wash your hands yet? Cause she just touched. Okay, I'm starting to get the inner sanitation fuck in me, popping out a little bit, cause they're not exactly, doing proper food handling here.
CPR. Ready? Wait, hold up. Stephanie, before you do CPR, you have to do the ABCs.
Survey the scene.
Survey the scene. Scene is clear. Everyone back away. Matt, make sure you're clear.
Call 911.
You, call 911. Airway. His airway is clear.
Yes, but he's not breathing.
He's missing a large chunk of his top. I'm not getting any breaths. Check his pulse. Certainly no pulse. Beginning CPR.
Crack the ribs. Ready?
Ready. And 1. Ooh, it did crack.
It did crack. It really did.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breath.
Okay.
So you're saying he is a dad, so this explains the insane level of dad jokes going on right now. Because this is totally some dad joke energy right here. If there's like, this guy has got like peak dad energy, at least when it comes to just dad jokes galore. I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. I'm just kind of like, oh shit, I'm getting like almost an overdose of dad jokes. Like, it's an OD of dad jokes, dude. I'm getting overdosed. It's like, shit, dude. I already get enough dad jokes from my own dad, and now I'm getting an overwhelming, like, dosage from this guy. It's like, oh, fuck. It's too much dad joke to handle.
You did it. I think.
If you ever serve mashed potatoes with fat gravy, you should be redacted within an inch of your life of a sack of russets. God damn. Well, luckily, like I said, I like to make, my scoop of mashed potatoes. I like to make a little bowl in there, put, some of that gravy in there, kind of like, bloop, kind of cup it over, and then stir it around and mix it in there. Like, I like some gravy in there. Then I put some salt, pepper, a little garlic powder in that bitch. Excelente.
Sufficiently dead. All right, we have it.
Did she just say it's sufficiently dead? Hey, my dude, you better be careful. One day she's gonna get mad at you or for something, and it's like, well, you're not sufficiently dead yet. Oh shit, dude. Like, there's something about, like, chicks that kind of can there's something about, like, wives specifically that, like, where they're comfortable enough to, like, let their low-key, like, sadist out. And then the dude, will just have this look of like, what?
Breath. Okay, I think we did it. Yeah. I think he's sufficiently dead. All right, we have it.
Yeah, that's the moment of like, oh shit, I should watch my back. I need to watch my back, son. She just let the sadist out.
Spatchcock, he's ready to go.
So this is it. This is the finished bird, all arranged, spatchcocked, ready to go.
Salted, seasoned, everything. We're putting it in the fridge while we cook the other bird.
Because he's only supposed to take 30 to 45, maybe an hour tops to cook, whereas our other guy's supposed to take multiple hours. So in an effort to get as clean of a taste test as possible, both want them coming out of the oven at the same time. So Sherman went into the oven first, where we tended to him with all the temperature adjustments and repositionings that a classic-style roasted turkey requires while it's in the oven. When Sherman was about an hour from being done, we put the spatchcocked turkey into the second oven.
All right.
Time for the big reveal.
Here is regular turkey, our Norman Rockwell turkey.
Nice.
Ooh.
He would be very proud, I feel.
I think so too. We achieved a nice golden brown. This is pretty much exactly what we wanted this turkey to look like, so success there. So this bird took 3.5 hours to cook. It was flipped twice.
Seems
down,
about right.
And then back up again. It was covered with tinfoil and then uncovered. We did all the things and it came out pretty much exactly the way we wanted it.
Yeah, this is pretty consistent to how it always looked.
Yeah.
So this is pretty darn good.
And now for the spatchcock. Ta-da!
Ooh.
I feel like this is a really nice golden brown.
Great.
There's also
I mean, it's pretty much relatively the same. It was just prepared differently.
Cleavage shot up here, which is very, very strange, but I can't decide. Maybe I'm into it. I don't know.
Whoa! Hey.
Oh shit! She likes a cleavage shot, huh? Cleavage. Jesus Christ! Dude, she's kind of letting out some secret energy that I think even he's like, whoa! I'm learning something about you now every day, huh? He's like, wait a minute.
in the battle between spatchcock versus traditional roasted turkey, round 1, visual appearance. What do you think?
I have to give this one, for me, to the spatchcock.
I do too.
Well, hey, it's got the cleavage shot, so there you go.
It's beautiful, it's golden brown, it's super even, it looks shiny. It looks like the picture of a turkey should look, except it's flat.
Right, this guy,
Flat.
even though we did our best, and you're, again, Stephanie has experience in this multiple years in a row.
She looked a little offended by that. So, like, even though we did our best, and she's like, you better watch your words. She had that, dude. Dude, she's got, like, some secret, like, energy with him, dude. She's had sex with him in a turkey costume, I bet. Oh, God.
There's just no way that you're getting that nice even browning on every part. I gotta say, like, visual appearance, if this is showing up on the table, I think I'm liking this one a little bit better.
I know.
But, you know, you're not eating with your eyes. It's a feast for your mouth.
Eating with your teethy parts.
The teethy parts, that's right. So let's eat with our teethy parts and carve this puppy up. That's
Okay,
smart
we're
call.
starting with white meat, so I'm gonna start carving into the breast of this one. That does look like a really nice piece of meat.
Get in here with this detail shot, Matt. Look at that juice. Look at that glisten.
The glistens.
You know what glisten that is?
Okay,
Ooh,
so this
nice.
spatchcock also looks very tender, I have to say. It's feeling very juicy as I cut into it.
Yeah.
We're each getting a nice slice here. And it's coming off, like, basically the same part of the breast. It's right on the outside. Like, this should be a very even test.
So from a crispiness of the skin standpoint,
I would kind of call them both even for me.
Yeah, they look pretty much relatively the same skin-wise.
see, I'm not much of a skin guy. Spatchcock
They're both pretty crispy, honestly.
had a decent crisp to it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see regular roast, Sherman. Yeah, pretty similar. Though again,
Yeah, I figured it was going to be pretty much the same.
I'd say the crispiness of this skin looks more even across the board, whereas Sherman over here, it's crispy on top, obviously, and it's got crispy on the side here.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to crispiness on the wing, that's where you're really starting to fall off.
That's true.
So here, more of the
Well, maybe you just need to let it roast a little longer. How about that,
crispy and more of the breast is crispy, whereas here it's pretty much all focused around kind of the top and main part of the bird. So to me, honestly, I think I gotta go spatchcock on this one. It's just crispy and even throughout, whereas here,
I'm already kind of saying that the spatchcock
solid
one is
crispy,
going to
but
win.
Once you get into the wing, you start falling off.
There's just no way of creating that same surface area with the 3D bird that you get with the spatchcock, so that has to be the tiebreaker. The overall evenness.
Right.
All right, spatchcock again. Okay, what are we tasting first? I nominate Sherman. Let's go Sherman
Okay, Sherman first. Traditional roast first.
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
Nice. Can cut it with the fork. It is that moist.
It's really, yeah, you don't need a knife for either. Oh, man. That was really good.
I like turkey.
That's really good.
Turkey makes me so happy.
It's really moist.
His little kid just came out with that, and I feel him. I agree.
It's well salted. It tastes seasoned. It's a little bit buttery. It's exactly the way it should be.
Turkey's the best. We have 2 Thanksgiving.
He don't even care. He's just like, it's so good and yum. This is awesome. He don't even care.
Excited about this.
Both of them were a business expense.
Yes!
So got the Sherman implanted on your tongue?
Yep.
Okay, let's...
Did it just kind of joke about how it, like, they get a tax return because this is a business expense? Because I guess it is, but, like, did they just joke about that? Gee, I wish I was that rich. Little kind of low-key rubbing it in there, aren't you there, little buddy?
I think I have my answer.
I think I already know what it is.
I do too. I can't believe this.
Which one?
It's spatchcock.
Right! It is!
I can't believe it.
Are they gonna be contested on an answer?
By this.
I am too, and I stand by my turkey cooking method any day of the week, but the spatchcock turkey tastes better. It's just a little bit moister. It's just slightly more delicious. We did the exact same thing to both of these birds, and yet this one tastes a little bit more flavorful somehow.
Yeah, this one is falling apart in my mouth.
Well, I think it's probably because it's more butterflied out. I think it has more of an ability to kind of like absorb the juices and shit like that, in comparison to a regular bird where there's also kind of like some space, you know, shit like that, you know. I mean, if you look at the rotisserie in comparison to that, like, I mean, the butterfly version, you know, it looks like it absorbs a lot more flavor and juices and stuff like that, so thus it makes it a lot more flavorful because it's absorbing all of it. At least a lot more, you know, in comparison.
That much more. It has a little bit more glisten. It's a
glisten.
little bit...
I like how he describes a lot of this with glisten.
juicier.
It's a little bit moisture, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, for half the time. Less than half the time.
It just bears mentioning, because this is YouTube, this is not rigged at all. We legit...
Why do I feel like it is, though? You can't...
did all of this all day.
Yep.
I kind of wanted my method to win, because, like, I've been wasting my time all these years. This one is better.
I did too.
That sucks.
I know.
Final round.
Dark meat.
This is never your cup of tea, but I'm curious to see...
Wait a minute, was she just muted there?
Final round.
Dark meat.
Yeah, she was saying something, but then she got muted, and then she cut him off. Or did he cut her off, dude?
Never your cup of tea, but I'm curious to see if you maybe like the spatchcock one. I'm into it. I'm all about, like, give me a big turkey leg with a bunch of barbecue sauce. I'm all about it. Right after the neck.
Again, Stephanie proven she's...
For the win? Yeah, because now she's like, yeah, if you talk shit, I'll get your neck. Turn you into a glisten giblets.
A weirdy poop. We did Sherman in round 1 first, so
that's probably the kindest way to be like, yeah, she's kind of crazy. Probably in a good way, though. I mean, she seems nice and everything. I'm obviously playing around with it, but...
Spatchcock first, yep. Let's go over here. I thought Sherman was moister on the dark meat.
Yeah. Is that because it's sitting in the juices?
Yeah, it's so moist because at the end of the cook, it's face down and it's just soaking up juices. It's like really marinating and it's already been crisped up for the majority of the cook, so it stays nice and brown.
Although conversely, because it has been sitting face down in the juices, though the meat is juicier, I agree, the skin is soggier, again, because it's just sitting in juice. Whereas here in Spatchcock land, the skin is crispier all the way through, but yeah, the meat is slightly less juicy. I will say Sherman is a little bit better on the dark meat.
Also, it is fair to say that 3 out of 4 tests went to Spatchcock.
Oh yeah, final verdict in the Turkey Battle 2020. Are you cooking your turkey wrong clickbait challenge? I think we...
Well, I'm pretty sure the answer is obvious at this point. I mean, you know, like... I'll have to bring that up next time to the folks a little bit, you know, be like, hey, you know, there might be some deliciousness, you know, that y'all might be missing out on. Just a little bit. Just a smidge. Here, let's see what another thing. Oh, shit. It's a Voosh clip, but the Pope goes woke? The Pope got woke? Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, like, Pope Palpatine over here with those red eyes is a little fucking disturbing. I'll also admit this is probably one of the better edits of those red eyes, because it actually blends in really well, like, with the actual eyes. Like, that's actually kind of fucking disturbing. But...
the current Pope is...
Whoa. YouTube is actually having context for Pope John Paul... What? Are we serious right now? Oh my god. Okay, what? The fuck ever.
The most progressive, by far, that there ever has been. I guess, given the fact that popes have been around for a long time, that's a pretty relative statement. But the current pope is good as popes go. Woke pope. Woke.
Woke pope. The woke. We got the woke.
Just 2 days ago, he said that priests can baptize transgender people. Now, obviously, this comes with...
Look at these stupid little sperm hats, dude. Like, what are these stupid little fucking hats, man?
...qualifier, as long as doing so doesn't create public scandal or confusion among the faithful, which is, I think, a pretty standard refrain, addition to the statement.
So basically, if there's a church that's like, no, fuck those trans people, like, then they're, you know, allowed to get away with it. So this is like a meaningless statement, basically, then.
With a grain of salt, as you will. However, please understand that in the context of Catholicism, this is a massive step forward. Okay? Keep in mind, it was only about 70 years ago that the Vatican II happened, and the Vatican stopped officially blaming Jews for the death of Christ. Okay, we're rapidly shifting from an era where, like, you know, Catholics, you know, like Nazi Catholic, you know, shaking hands over hating Jewish people, to where we are today. More progressive than your average.
Oh, fair.
Right. Pope Francis has repeatedly held through his papacy that the document reiterates the church is not a toll house, doesn't want more complaints nailed to a door, and that the door of baptism should not be closed to anyone. The document, which was signed by Cardinal Victor Manuel Fernandez, says the church was not offering approval or disapproval of the idea of gender identity. Pope Francis has referred to the specific understandings of gender theory that include trans people as a form of ideological colonization.
Ideological colonization? What does that even mean? Ideological colonization? I'm trying to wrap my head around it of what the fuck that even means. I'm actually trying right now. Like, what is that? What would that even infer to? Like an ideology, like, usurping itself in another? I don't even know. What does that mean? I am honestly trying to figure that out. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? I think that's just like a meaningless, like word salad of a phrase, you know, just to kind of throw out something that sounds scary and spookily. Christians called other groups of people colonizers. I know, and yeah, the irony of that too. It's like, I mean, yeah, it's for the Catholics or Christians or any religious sect in general, you know, to say that they're not colonizers or like other groups are colonizers is pretty fucking laughable.
Clear the baptism of transgender people should not cause scandal. I want to qualify this because I'm not making the argument that the Vatican is like radically pro-trans, but let's read a little further. The term scandal in Roman Catholic theology has a specific meaning different to the more common use of the term to mean moral outrage. Rather, the catechism, I don't know if I said that correctly, of the Catholic Church describes scandal as, quote, an attitude or behavior which leads another to do evil. The person who gives scandal becomes his neighbor's tempter. So in this case, by scandal, what they mean, catechism, thank you. In this case, what they mean by scandal, they mean like provoking sin in others, essentially. That definition goes on to say that someone causing scandal, quote, damages virtue and integrity, and that doing so could draw, quote, his brother into spiritual death. The new Vatican document says trans people, as well as people in same-sex relationships, can be baptismal sponsors and witnesses at weddings. That's a pretty... Again, we're grading on a curve here, okay? Keep in mind, there are hundreds of millions of Catholics. There are many, 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 many people who hang on the word of the Pope. This is an unbelievably huge shift since the previous Pope.
Which, I guess, in a sense, if that's the case, and hopefully, you know, that might make, like, you know, maybe a shift, you know, in at least... hopefully in like U.S. specific type of Catholics where they're more progressive in comparison, I guess. I mean, you know, like, I suppose that could maybe, at least, you know, for, you know, like the inner politics of, of the Catholic Church or whatever the fuck. I mean, maybe it, you know, could be, well, I guess it is a positive, I suppose, but, I mean, to anyone else who isn't really exactly a Catholic, I mean, does this really mean that fucking much? I mean, I guess, you know, a little bit. I mean, it means, like, there's hopefully a little less bigotry against trans people over religious bullshit. So, I mean, you know, I guess that is at least somewhat of a positive. I mean, but, I mean, in a way, I don't really know if this is going to exactly change the opinions of Catholics on trans people, really, one way or the other. I mean, maybe they'll, like, begrudgingly, like, accept it, but, you know, begrudgingly. But, I mean, I don't really know if this really has that big of a significant impact. I don't know, I could be wrong.
This administration.
I mean, this church is kind of starting to become more and more irrelevant by the year anyway, so it's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, despite its power and influence, I mean, it's kind of starting to fall on the wayside and start kind of weighing in power at this point, especially in the last, I mean, at least since its, previous, existence, being a thing for for a long fucking time. I mean, its power that it's had back then, like hundreds and hundreds of years ago, even like 1,000-something years ago, is like significantly wanes, now at this point. Like, I mean, they were way more powerful back in the day. So, I mean, it's just like, more and more their, power and influence is, just not going to be as influential anymore. Which, frankly, good. Like, I mean, I'd rather it not. Frankly, I mean, I could see the Vatican City basically just be turned into a big, gigantic fucking museum for, Italy to, like, get some money out of. But with the current leadership in Italy, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. If anything, they'd probably want to expand the Vatican or some shit.
Oh, we'll get to that, Street Call. Oh, we'll get to that, Tootie Siggy. These questions came before the Dicastery for the Doctrine of the Faith, in part because official Catholic teaching, according to the Catechism of... I love saying that, Catechism of the Catholic Church, is that same-sex sexual behavior is a grave sin and that homosexuality is objectively and intrinsically disordered. Pope Francis's approach, however, has been to repeatedly welcome LGBTQ plus people into the church, once saying... Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge when asked about gay couples? Okay, so
which, I mean, for someone who's religious, that actually is, pretty significant, especially if they're like a, major leader. Because, I mean, if they're, saying, who am I to judge? I don't care. Like, God judges you, not me. Like, I mean, then, in a way, it's like, alright. I mean, it's definitely better than, like, the utter bigotry and discrimination that does happen. Honestly, I'm pretty sure his personal opinions are like, I still think you're weird. But, I mean, he's not gonna, like, overtly judge, at least. Which I suppose is a good thing.
Expert in Catholicism. But here...
Tropical juice.
That's my understanding of how this is going down. Okay? Most people who consider themselves like traditional Catholics, all right, believe that homosexual sex is a sin. A man laying with a man and women with women, whatever. Now, the line that often gets used is hate the sin, love the sinner, which ostensibly means you might say that the sex itself is a sin, but that doesn't mean to be gay is sinful. Now, that is in and of itself still homophobic. I'm not saying it's not.
Which it is, and I've heard that a lot. I mean, a lot of my, Christian family, at least some of the more, like, like, God-bothery ones, they definitely have, like, used this before. Or it's like, oh, well, we obviously, love the sinner because, for who they are, inherently the problem. It's just the sins that they commit, which is like, well... Doesn't that mean that there's, like, a problem with them because they're sinning at that point? So, like, I mean, what weird fucking, like, jumbled mess of bullshit is that? But whatever, okay, you do you fucking goober.
However, if applied textually, that is significantly more progressive than the moral denunciation of people simply being homosexual. The problem is that in practice, people who say hate the sin, love the sinner, also hate the sinner. Like... A significant portion of people who say, oh, we're not homophobic, we just think it's a sin to commit the act, also discriminate against gay people. What the Pope is doing here is being textually consistent. By saying that gay and trans people can be godparents and witnesses at weddings, by saying that they can be baptized, even if the church still officially denounces the act of homosexual sex, this is a more consistent treatment and is therefore better than the inconsistent dishonesty that was previously like the standard affair of the Catholic Church. And what's more, and this really depends on...
I mean, there's still like a level of dishonesty of the whole love the sinner, hate the sin mentality, but I guess it's a little bit more like surface level honest in a sense of treating people equal, I guess, but...
You talk to. But my understanding is that textually speaking, it is not the responsibility for a Catholic to pass judgment on another of their flock, or even on another of another flock. Essentially, what Pope Francis is saying...
Does stop him from doing it, though.
By responding, who am I to judge, when asked about queer people in the church, he's saying, that's not my deal, let God decide. Now, again, I don't mean to say this is radically progressive. The Pope still no doubt believes that it is a sin to have male on male sex. But I want to I guess contextualize the Catholic understanding of sin relative to other places where it appears Catholics sin all the time. That's why they have confessionals. Like, the idea of if you sin...
I mean, that's kind of the whole funny thing about it all, which I think is why they kind of have, like, more the love the sin or hate the sin mentality, which a lot of, like, Christians, will adopt as well. But I think it's especially pretty more commonly prevalent within the Catholic Church because they have the whole confessional shit. Where it's like, confess your sins, my child, and after that, say like 10 Hail Marys or whatever the fuck or some shit. It's like, I mean, because at that point, it's like you're no longer, like, of sin anymore after that. Because, whatever weird fucking bullshit they got going on with that. And which also kind of implies too, there's like kind of an out, so to speak, when it comes to like, sinning too, where it's like, hence why they sin all the time. Because it's like, it's easy for them to just like, to confessional, just, confess the sins away, then like start from scratch and then just do it again. It's like, I mean, that's basically like all they would have to do is like, I mean, just like every now and then just show up to confessional, like confess all to the sins and stuff, and then just move on and just do it again, basically.
You're out. That's bullshit. Okay, anyone who says that about gay sex, like anyone who would imply you're going to hell purely for like lying with another man or whatever, total bullshit. The whole point of confessional is that you speak your sins and are forgiven, Hail Mary, blah blah. That's the whole point. So essentially, imagine Pope Francis might say it's a sin to covet thy neighbor or whatever. But would he then excommunicate someone for doing so? No. Can you imagine a church that excommunicated everyone who coveted? You wouldn't have a flock. There
would be no Catholics left.
You wouldn't have anyone.
The Catholic Church just shut itself down.
So
I'm actually kind of based. You know what? Maybe they should just go hardline and say, fuck, we're no longer having a Catholic Church because fuck all y'all.
I just want people to understand how progressive this is.
Y'all sinners.
Because what it looks like is happening is that the Pope is enforcing a more consistent attitude on sin with regards to queer people. One that treats acts of queerness, like a man lying with a man, the same way a Catholic would treat, coveting thy neighbor. That is to say, it's bad, it's sinful, but it's not an existentially invalidating thing the way they have hypocritically deemed it to be in the past. Does that make sense? Does everyone understand what I'm... Like, there's a big difference between saying, I think that gay sex is a sin, but gay people are still free to participate in the flock, and also you can just, confess your sins, and believing that gay people are an abomination, which has been the default line before. Huge, huge step. So, yeah. The statement says that too many bishops and priests have made it difficult for members of the queer community to receive sacraments, which are central to the lives of Catholics. You guys have no idea how much this might shift the lives of queer people living in predominantly Catholic countries, like Italy, Spain,
or in communities in the United States as well. Because, for example, where my sister lives in Billings, Montana, that town is got a strong Catholic population there. It's not like the predominant, sect of Christianity there, but it's pretty much like the number two, like the big numero, dos right there. I mean, maybe it is number one, to be honest, because there are a lot of different Catholic churches around there and shit. So, maybe it honestly is number one. But, there's a lot of different communities, in the United States are pretty much would be affected in the same way, where, at least to some extent, they can have, at least within the Catholic Church, even if it's, still kind of tacitly not 100% in favor of them, so to speak, they can at least maybe get some sort of a respite and having at least a little out in this way. Which it is good. I mean, it's at least, for a lot of places, especially in, Latin American countries and places like in, Spain or, more predominantly just Catholic, countries in general. This would definitely be a big thing even for those places as well. So either way, it's still good. I mean, I guess all in all, especially, with how Vosh is talking about it. But it's still one of those things where it's it's only, just a small marginal step. It only helps, a certain group of people within, these groups of people.
Latin America, I mean, Mexico and South, man, a lot of Catholics down there. And I know not all of them hang on the words of the Pope. You know, Catholics have mixed opinions on the Pope. For example, fake American neo-Nazi trad cats who convert to get out of their porn addiction hate the Pope. But they're not real Catholics anyway. They just like Deus Vult memes. Many people who actually are Catholic care. Do you think all this is because the Pope is a liberal PR team? No. I don't want to sound like one of those Jesus Christ was a hippie or a socialist types, because I'm not. But I do think that this current Pope, Pope Francis, is being more consistent and more biblically accurate in his translation of the text. If the popes of years past understood that sin was human and you could confess your sin away, there's no reason why that wouldn't conceptually apply. I think the world that's implied in what he's building, like the world that this could build, is one where in predominantly Catholic countries, if you are gay and you come out to your like hardline Catholic parents, they might roll their eyes and treat it the same way as if you talked about how you like got in a fight at school, or like you get caught like having like done some drinking or something when you're 17 or whatever. Like they would treat it like one of those sinful things that humans just do, but you can, you know, go to confessional. And again, that's still homophobic, but that's a hell of a lot better than the historical attitude
where you basically get lynched or, you know, exiled from your community or from your parents' house and shit like that, which, yes, is definitely better. I mean, you know, because I guess, you know, if there is something about the whole love the sin or hate the sin mentality, you know, which is kind of predominantly what is the root of what he's talking about, like, it's, you know, I guess, you know, it does kind of treat sins in general as more of like, well, that's just things that people do sometimes, and they just seem to be a little bit more pure and go to confessional and this and that, yada yada, blah blah blah, you know, sort of jerk it away or whatever the fuck. I mean, you know, that's just like basically, you know, like how, you know, most people with that kind of mentality operate with. And when it comes to certain sins, maybe they might treat it maybe more severely than others, so to speak, you know, but when it comes to something like being gay or whatever the fuck, it's not really seen as big of a deal. Like, even my mom is kind of like the same way. I mean, you know, like, she kind of is, like, softly like that, too, but she's kind of laid back a lot about stuff like that at this point, just because she's like, yeah, whatever, people are gonna be people, like, as long as they're not hurting anybody, whatever, you know, God loves who they are, and blah, blah, blah. Like, she's kind of gotten a lot more, like, kind of more to her hippie side of things, you know, when it comes to that type of idea now at this point. Which is definitely, you know, more different to this as well, where it's not necessarily love the sin or hate the sin, even if you think, you know, people do sins and stuff, it's like, you know, it's more about, like, their character and who they are and stuff like that, and God will judge them based on that type of shit, and if they were generally a good person, despite what sins they may have committed, then, you know, it kind of overrides it in a way, or whatever the fuck. You know, it's a lot more of a liberal, take of, like, you know, of sin and shit like that. Even if it's, like, more tacitly kind of the same idea, it's, I mean, I guess in a way not as, like, bigoted in a sense, because it's more about, like, whatever you do, you boo, but, you know, as long as you're a good person and don't hurt anybody or overtly try to do shit like that and blah, 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 then, you know, God will think you're cool. Basically, that's kind of the idea. Like, so, you know, which is, yeah, arguably, like I said, definitely even better than this mentality, but, you know, it's just kind of the weird shit about, like, religion sometimes, where it's just, like, sometimes it's kind of confusing how some people will, like, justify maybe, like, soft bigotry or, like, even overt bigotry, or maybe, like, this kind of weird idea where even if they personally think, you know, this and that might not be right or good or, you know, whatever the fuck, or certain things are wrong, you know, they, you know, like, kind of don't care either way, because, like, not their place to judge, and as long as they're a cool person, or, you know, a nice person, you know, whatever the fuck, then, yeah, God judge them based on that type of shit, or whatever. It's just always just been weird to me.
That being gay is some kind of extra special, ultra secret evil sin that is so disqualifying for your humanity that you stay in the closet your whole life. You know? Does that make sense? Does everyone understand? How long-standing do you think his statements will be? Well, it's possible for people to go back on, like, the words of former popes, but he's literally the Pope. I mean, in terms of how much his words mean, he's pretty up there. presidents go back on their words more often than popes do by a big margin. So, yeah.
And that's honestly saying something.
It's a big deal. For the clippers in the back, you should specify that you don't mean this.
I mean, that's also kind of like silly a little bit, where it's like, I mean, popes can actually be more politically consistent than motherfucking politicians. It's like, god damn it.
Good point to settle down. You don't mean you expect no further progress ever. I hope.
Working on my last Thanksgiving story of the month. In the villain so evil, he wants to use black magic technology to make all food pumpkin and pumpkin spice taste like prune juice. Well, to make all food pumpkin, I mean, that's not that bad. The pumpkin spice tastes like prune juice. I mean, good. So all the crazy, you know, pumpkin spice addicted white bitches will die off because they can't get their addiction fixed. So, hey, I mean, that, you know, sounds like the villain is actually kind of a good guy. I don't know. Sounds cool to me. Sounds kind of based.
As people are religious, I hope those religions are progressive and treat queer people equally to non-queer people. That being said, we should still recognize how big of a step up this is. And I would much rather, like, gay people in conservative Catholic families in Mexico have parents who go, oh, you're gay? Well, okay, we can talk about that. Than being, like, kicked out of the...
Now you have to go to confessional, and you have to go do that, and here we're gonna make sure that you know, do extra chores because you're being bad, and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, you know, honestly, to be fair, that would be better.
Or beaten to death, you know? Like, that. In terms of, like, the scale of harm here, if you're...
Ignore no pumpkin pie, no pumpkin shakes, no pumpkin spice sauce, and even the pumpkin seeds. Oh, wait, so so hold on. You're saying that this guy is going to take away everything pumpkin? Okay, never mind. Fuck this guy. I thought you were specifically saying he was going to turn everything and all food into pumpkin. And, like, and just get rid of pumpkin spice. You know, when it comes to, like, pumpkin spice lattes. You know, so it's like, I mean... Shit. Alright, well, you know, hey. I guess, makes it taste like prune juice. Well, I mean, I don't mind prune juice. I mean, I don't mind it, but, like, to make everything that would just be hell. Hell on earth. Yeah.
If you're a Catholic parent, you have to forgive sin from your children because, again, everyone sins. Everyone. It's not like Protestantism where people pretend that they live perfect lives or whatever. Like, the whole point of being Catholic is going to the church and going to the confessional booth, not getting molested. That's a big part. That's a big, like, you know, that's a big part of the skill involved.
Yeah, and if you do, skill issue. Yeah, like, that's the one thing about Catholic churches, you know. Yeah, there's also, like, you know, the evasion skill that you have to, like, boost. You know, you have to boost that skill up, because if not, you may or may not get diddled.
And confessing your sins. So as long as it gets treated like any other sin, that's a big step up. Oh, by the way, I do think that the destigmatization of homosexuality in the church will lead to a reduction in pedophilia as well. Because I think that there is an almost like one-to-one direct line between the sexual abuse of children from the churches and a culture of sexual conservatism and sexual moralizing in Catholicism. And this isn't not just like in you know, people being out gay like fixes because it's more complicated than that. It's more about the culture of repression, I think, that contributes to the you know, the abuses in a lot of cases. Didn't the Pope say priests can women now? Is that true? Oh. Pope Francis signals openness to blessings for same-sex couples. This was from a couple months ago. That's not what we were talking about, though. But that's also really good, by the way. That's really good, by the way.
Yeah, so popes can have relations? What about the nuns?
I don't know if he said that. I think it would be considered extremely controversial if he said that priests could have relations. They're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Honestly, that would be pretty radical for a pope to say that. It's like, all right, nuns and priests can have relations. Now, you know, if they want, they can do it with each other, but they can just have relations with whoever they want. I mean, because then, honestly, you know there will be, like, some nuns who would just be like, oh, so I can actually do that without feeling like I'm...
Oh, come on.
What? I'm having some issues there.
Huh?
Having some issues there.
Normally, no. I'm just having issues with Carol. I swear, if you can find me a backseat driver's license, get it.
Okay.
I'm gonna gift it to Carol.
Okay.
She definitely needs it. I'm going to tell her, unless you get your backseat driver's license, you're not riding with me anymore.
Oh my fucking god. Jesus Christ.
She is the worst. Worst. Come here!
Oh fuck, okay, now, oh my god, don't, this, you already did this to me last night, I don't need it again, oh no. Fuck.
Okay, look for the Outer Park store. Oh! Did you see this great restaurant? And there's
Why don't you just get a GPS so then she could, never mind, whatever, I don't wanna, not right now, Jesus Christ, you already went off about...
Yeah, I'm frustrated beyond frustrated, but...
What's prune juice taste like anyway?
I just want
Prunes?
to get a Carpix so I don't have to deal with their ass anymore. I should be playing pool and monitor right now. Shit. Instead, after the last couple of days,
he's not happy right now.
Drive all the way
oh my god.
Here at Oregon City and back, getting a fucking rat. This freaking idiot. Not me or Carol, just the guy that, well, I understand exactly what he did.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, oh my god.
Not sure, I meant to, just like McLaughlin, there's never any breaks in traffic, you get a break and zip it to the parking lot, and he didn't see me pulling out. The parking spot, and I was going like, just a little bit slower than a slug will crawl. You know, trying to back out because I can't see it yet, and there's a big truck, and I just want to make sure everyone knows I'm coming out. I'm guessing the way the sun was shining, it looked like every tail light in the parking lot was lit up.
Oh my fucking god, wow.
Of course, there's the one right next to the street. Okay.
Oh my fucking god. I kind of can't help but laugh, honestly, like, Jesus Christ. A little amusing.
Yeah, hopefully this will work.
Oh my god. Seems like he's having time.
I finally get to the spot where I can use both feet and both hands and get something done. And what do I have to do? Wait on Carol.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm thinking about it. Wait a second.
Oh shit. Well, oh no. What's happening?
Oh, you'll like this one.
Oh, I'm getting Moolah back?
Yes.
Speaking of which, I need to get fucking what's his face to pay me back for the fucking lifts I've been giving him.
I owe you $2. There's $2.
Well, $2, I guess.
So gathering bottles and just like, oh, I got like half an hour and hopefully I can get to the bottle in some time. And then Krista calls. I'm just like, oh shit. And I'm like trying to get the bottles together. I'm just like this. I need $2. I'll steal it 8/4 from you. And now you'll retake.
Well, yay.
I'm not sure if I...
Oh my goodness.
Smoke the other day. Ow.
I mean, I won't worry about that. I don't give a shit about that. Ugh. Hey, guy.
I used to have a bourbon smoke in there. I don't see it at the moment.
I don't give a fuck about it. Honestly, don't worry about it.
Mornin just... If I got struck by lightning or a meteor or something, we won't have to deal with Carol anymore. Jeez.
Well, I mean, I don't think we're gonna have lightning anytime soon, so... GLHF with that one. My lord. The frustrations of the life of Pops. Wow. I was kind of hoping he would avoid that, but no. Oh, what's this? This is interesting. Hyundai has followed Honda and Toyota in raising workers' wages just days after UAW's new contract to the U.S. Big Three automakers. Hyundai announced on November 13th that it will match the wages to the specified UAW contract. Hey! That just shows how the rising tide of labor raises all ships. Move seems to be in response to UAW's Sean Fain's plan to organize foreign automakers and Tesla. Fain referred to the Toyota pay raise as the UAW bump. Nice. Fuck yeah. That's a good shit. I can dig it. I dig it. Seems like Sean Fain's like kind of quickly, becoming like more of the prominent face of the labor movement right now. Just kind of wondering, for me, it's like what happened with Christian Smalls. I mean, I'm assuming he's still doing his work and stuff, but I mean, I'm just like kind of falling off the radar on a national level a little bit. Kind of hope that like at some point he'll eventually make some more prominence again. Maybe try to like get more of a push, shit. But I mean, I guess for him it's more of a regional thing for New York's, like it was like Staten Island and stuff. But just kind of curious, what the news about him has been, since he hasn't really been like on the radar as much. But we're just gonna call it good for the rest of the night, or at least for the afternoon. I'll be back a little bit later tonight. Have a little fun, check out some other stuff. Maybe that little stream on the Onion Nuggets, all that stuff. So anyway, peace out, and of course, I'll see y'all then.